man. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Chicago Millionaire Radio Show. I'm your host, Robert B. I got my man, Mississippi Slizzle, right here, my co-host. What's up, Mississippi Slizzle?
If I knew what I'd do it, Rob.
As usual, Rob. And then we got the world. Who we got right here? Well, you don't know your name?
Oh, they know me.
It's like I'm a movie star.
I'm just messing
We
with
got
you.
Mark McGuire in the building, baby. What's up, big fella?
You, man, how you doing?
I ain't want to miss your nephew, man. Give us your name and what you doing.
Anthony Boogie Lewis, fresh graduate out of school. Just trying to get the rope swings of things.
Okay, we got the Rook in here. This is his
man.
second time, man.
Excellent, bro.
His
Yeah.
second coming, man. So you sitting here with a legend, man. So you should be glad that you met me.
History in the making, right
Hey,
here.
enough about me, Rob. Come on, man. Stop it, I say.
What's going on, man? What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Good, man.
Good. Excellent, man.
Man, that's beautiful, man. I tell you what, it's a pleasure to have the big fella on here tonight. I got my
I
interview.
was going to be on.
Well, you know, you told me you were tired too, though. You told
Oh,
me
we cool like that, man.
after the cigar bar scene last
Look,
night.
when you on, I give you my word, I'm there.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about. He
what-
always
that's
comes
what-
through in the
Yeah.
clutch,
No,
man.
I'm there, man.
Big Mark, Big Mark.
Chi-Town finest.
Mark, I want to just dive right into it, man. I don't even want to play with it, man. I want to get
Go
right
ahead,
to
man.
the hitty
What you wanna
deal of
go?
it all, man. I've been noticing you doing a lot of things around town. You coming with a new direction with the live stream.
Right.
You all over the place now.
Yeah,
What is it, man, that's going on with that, man? Tell me what you trying to do with the live stream.
Well, it's just something in a couple different pockets, meaning that, from a standpoint of looking at it from a business point of view, is that when you look at the social media piece, is that about programming. It's all about programming. And then they're finding places to put unique programming and then be able to unmask different pockets of people to be able to come under a viewership, or a group, or you say. And so how you get a group is about content. So when you talk about content right now, you got to deliver something that's unique to the stage. And all I do is I'm now trying to find things unique that are sports and related to sports, meaning that sports pockets of people where people congregate around sports, and then let them deliver their word straight without going through the source of media. They don't have to deliver it through
Hearsay, she say.
no, you don't have to do that anymore. You can go
Hearsay,
straight to
she
the
say.
source, and then you can deliver the message directly to
Because
the people, kind of like our president doing with his Twitter. He
Right.
said, I'm going straight to you.
right.
And social media is a way when you get content and then you have all the people around it saying, this is what you should think. You don't have to do that. You can actually
You did
find
something
out
unique,
where
though.
it is.
You did something unique these last couple of weeks. You've been trolling people on the internet. You going in and they like, are you the real Mark Aguirre?
Yeah, absolutely.
They like, you're not the real Mark Aguirre.
Yeah, well, it's taking a lot of work, and you helped me with a lot of that, but it's taking a lot of work.
Well, how does that feel, man, for you though? Because people, professional athletes don't come on the internet,
No,
let alone be accessible.
no.
You've become like accessible to people, man.
Well,
how
I
does
think
that feel,
I
man?
think that's the change, the switch to things is now, you became somewhat accessible when they started Twitter, but it's still far away.
right.
So
I
close,
think,
but yet
that's
so far away.
Yeah, but see, I think real things are going to hit is when guys understand that I can access groups and be close to them and communicate to them. And then at the end of the day, I think all the advertisers and all the people are going to see more
Hands on.
a guy that's an influencer now.
Right.
See, I can influence that individual by saying, hey, listen, I I drive Toyotas or I drive
Right.
Chevys.
Right.
Now
You got that nice ass lacrosse out there.
Now, well,
Shaq can't fit in that mud with Big Mark can. What would it say?
Better yet, you can say, I get a ride with Slab. Take the pressure off.
Yeah, Mike, that's crazy though, man. How I've been watching that. And let me rewind back for people who might not watch basketball. There are people who just watch the show just because they mess with me and Slab. They might be watching because of you or because of Mark. Mark is a 2-time world champ with the Detroit Pistons. He's part of that Bad Boys thing. They 30 for 30 is on ESPN. Mark is very pivotal in that situation and all the things happen over there in that team. So I'm gonna delve into that just a little bit because he already talked about that 1,000 times. But I just want to share how willing this guy is to share the knowledge that he had when he joined that team. Because I've been around you the last few days. And you were showing me moves in the damn living room.
Yeah,
I was trying to guard him in the living room and couldn't guard him.
Oh,
I'm like, man.
I always said, don't play ball in the house.
But for real though, Mark, like you like lean on me. And then I lean on me like, see, I was like, damn, I would have failed and shit. I would have failed trying to guard you. And it was Tai Chi. But I want to go to it was Tai Chi. He said his moves like Tai Chi.
No, it's I got taught how to use another person's weight against them.
Right.
And you can just take it over to basketball. Is that when I get you in positions where you are so bent on putting your strength and weight in a certain place, and I use it against you.
Right.
And
that's what you showed me that.
Yeah, I learned.
That's because he bumped me one time. We was in the living room. He was like, "Now watch your feet." He said, "Now you see your toes come up. You know you
can't jump
because you can't jump when you're on your heels."
So I learned to I learned to tap people when I play and read their feet and see the rim. It's a lot involved, but once I see those feet lift the way I want them to lift, now I have a few quick seconds to be able to get you where I want to get you. And then I kind of got better at timing myself. Then it got to a point where I could time you just by the rhythm of your body.
Right. You hear that, baby? You in for it tonight.
Her feet always like that,
though. See that? Here they go.
It's going to be hell until the captain the phone got over.
There you go.
Well, I mean, anybody that averages 24, 25 in the league a night, people think my sons, they be like, oh, dude, weak. I said, man, the 12th dude on that bench will come out here and give everybody 88. You agree, Mark?
The 12th dude on what?
On the NBA bench.
We'll come and get what?
We'll come to the regular gym in Lifetime and get him 88.
Oh, that wouldn't be fair. That's not even.
I'm talking about the 12th dude that don't never get in the game in the NBA.
Dude, that'll be just like playing with 9-year-olds. It would. They couldn't do anything but grab them.
Right. Because why do people think that just because the dude don't get in the game in the NBA?
I tell you what, here's the equivalent to the difference in a professional in his field and a non-professional. I went out to I think it was Rangers, and I sat Randy Johnson. I think they were playing, and
the big unit.
Yeah. So I wanted to swing at a pitch. The only way I could even make contact with the pitch is just stick the bat out.
Right.
If I took the bat here,
you was fanned.
The ball was in the glove before I got the ball around, and I tried to do everything. So the only way I could hit it is keep it right here and do like that.
Right.
And that lets you know how incredible
baseball
is at their profession.
Wow.
And I couldn't even, I could sit there for months and I would have never hit that ball.
Either that or you got your bunt game on.
Well, my bunt game, I probably couldn't have bunted it,
Speaking of baseball, man, I take yoga with Jim Thome. Jim Thome is like one of only 6 guys in the NFL history, got over 600 home runs. Major League Baseball. Right. Sorry, really? NFL. Yeah. He do yoga with me. He's a big guy. And then one thing that I noticed about both of y'all is your work ethic. You continue to work out, man.
Yeah, you have to.
You still late in the game and you still go work out every day.
I have to.
Tell me, man, because I saw you about 2 years ago. You was like kind of swole. And then I say like, damn, Ma.
Yeah.
What the hell you done did?
Well, at one point, you got to, if you, aware, especially when you're talking about the African-American community, we tend to really not pay attention to our diets as well as we should do.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about diabetes, it's prevalent in our community. So, I was trying to make a stance for myself not to ever go there.
Right.
But then the biggest thing about it is that all my family around me, I was trying to spread the word to them. I was like, look, let's get ourselves together, because you want to see everybody live a long,
fruitful life. In the South.
Yeah, like in the South. So, I started taking supplements. I I drink a tea every day.
Mhm.
It's from a group, Total Life Changes. And I
Okay.
take their tea every day, and I take their vitamin supplement every day, and which got me to a point now where, like you say, I can go back on the court and play whatever.
I saw you.
Joe.
When I saw you, I
Average
said,
Joe,
"Ma,
yeah.
you back down to your playing weight."
Yeah, drinking that tea and taking that stuff every day. I drink it every day. Have a gallon.
And we all can agree that growing up in an urban community, we just like to eat.
Yeah.
All we want is some salt on our tongue to say, I just got through eating. But we're not put in a situation to have a whole food down the street from you.
Well, that's the whole stigma about it. It's not the whole foods. It's the matter of the foods that you are eating, meaning that you can eat a healthy meal a lot cheaper than you think.
Right. I know when I was in college, it was baked chicken, string beans, and that was it.
So when you talk chicken, you know what you get chicken for a pound. And if you buy it at the right place, you get a great place for a pound.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, when you don't go get green beans, you go get fresh green beans, you know what you can get collard greens for. Right. You know what you can get all those things for. But that's a meal that is not expensive. But the thing is that we want to add that little stuff in it. We want to get that, those
super size
macaroni and cheese. We want the macaroni and cheese,
extra season,
extra season. We want, so we get that's kind of, I think, is a myth in the fact that you have to have a Whole Foods down the street to eat healthy. People been eating healthy before Whole Foods got here.
And that's a ploy.
But then when we grew up though, and this is the whole thing when we grew up though, is I think at a younger age, we were more healthier as a race, because when I grew up,
we didn't eat out,
but everything was cooked.
Yeah, everything was cooked.
Everything was
because there wasn't even a lot of fast food places.
You got to eat what was
then,
prepared at that time.
And then what was prepared is that in my house, my grandmother and they were big on cabbage and.
Yeah, roughage.
They were roughage.
That roughage, man.
Cabbage and
these kids don't get no roughage.
And beans and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was happy to have cornbread. I was happy to have that.
Right.
I didn't know when we went out to, well, it wasn't McDonald's, but we went out to any fest. That was like twice a year.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my God, we get ready to go.
And most times you ain't good at the church.
You ain't good around tax time.
Yeah, that's a kind of myth. I think I really think it's a myth.
You're right. All right, I want to rewind a little bit. I want to go speed it up, and I know Slab and them, y'all might have something for him because I can go on forever with this guy. But I just wanted to talk about. You told me that when you was growing up, you was like it was the one guy that was better, pretty much not better than y'all, but he had a better chance to be greater. You said Ronnie Lester.
Yeah.
Ronnie Lester. I remember Ronnie Lester. He was dragging that leg a lot though.
Well, you saw him after he was hurt.
I saw him after he was hurt.
Yeah.
Man, he still got drafted.
Oh, he got drafted number 4.
Right.
With a bum knee.
In
the entire league.
Tell us about Ronnie Lester, man.
Wheel right there.
But he just cold. I think the
best
way
Ronnie
to size
Lester
him
start at though, Mark? What high
he was
school?
at Dunbar.
He was at Dunbar.
Yeah.
And he was was he ranked in high school?
Then he went to Iowa.
Okay.
He was ranked. He was All-American.
He's All-American.
On every level. He was first team All-American and college. He was the number 4 pick in the entire draft.
Wow.
He was slated to be number 1 his junior year, and he didn't leave.
He should have left.
Well, in
hindsight,
should have. In hindsight, say should have, would have.
But college fun.
But you never know when you're gonna get hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He could have got hurt anytime, so you never know. But when you talk about Isaiah, if you ask Isaiah to this day, who was the best guard in Chicago, he'd take himself out and he'll say Ronnie Lester because he played against Ronnie Lester and he didn't want none of Ronnie Lester.
How tall was Ronnie Lester?
Ronnie was I think he was like 6'3" maybe.
But he was crafty, right?
Fast.
Right.
He was fast.
I remember Ronnie Lester, but he kept that band on his knee all the time.
See,
they ain't had the technology that guy.
No, they didn't know. If he had the technology today, he'd have probably been just as good in the pros.
Because he tore his what? ACL
I don't know
back
exactly.
then?
I just know he had an injury. I don't want to lie and say, but he just had an injury that definitely slowed him up.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing that there's always a player that we saw coming around and they didn't blow him all the way out. Like you said about J.J. Anderson last night.
Well, those are just the blessings, man.
But the crazy part was y'all whole junior team went to the league, man.
Yeah. That whole
And I was
team.
thinking about that on the way home. What was that team? Who was all on that team?
No, we was a sub.
They was a junior high school team.
Well, actually, they had the pro league. You know, when I came up, they had the pro league where only pros played. But there wasn't a rule to say high school players couldn't play in a pro league. There was no rules because there wasn't no money at the door.
Right.
Given. It was just come see the game. So there wasn't a violation in NCAA or high school rules because there was no money. So, but a gentleman named Sergeant Carter, you know, took us and he said, you guys don't understand is that you can play in the pro league. And I was like, man, we're not playing against them pros. But we went in the pro league and believe it or not, we played in it and then we won it as sophomores. I mean, we playing against pros and they came at us because they didn't want to be embarrassed by, you know, this is high school kids, but they couldn't stop it. And
that was crazy.
That goes to show you it's all was within.
It was within.
Yeah, it was within.
But tell them who was on that team, though.
But everyone went to the pro.
Pro that was on that team.
Everybody, me, Doc, Isaiah, Mitch Anderson. Who am I missing?
He said somebody else. I remember he said somebody else.
We had 5 pros.
Right.
Everybody that played on that team made it
crazy.
to the NBA. Every last
wow,
every
that's
last
amazing.
That was crazy.
No, that's amazing.
That was crazy. Yeah. And all of us from the West Side.
Take that.
Take that. Everybody from the West Side. What those South Side boys?
You had to just say that.
What those South Side boys?
The West Side.
All West Side boys.
I got an address in West Side, 2515 West.
Hey, but you know Donnie Boyce and all them, they got an argument. You know, all them boys from Proviso East against Simeon. They like, dude, we got guys that got championships. Y'all ain't got no championships in the league. And they
who got championships with him?
For Proviso East,
yeah.
Doc Rivers.
Who Doc Rivers?
Michael Finley.
Yeah, he got one with
Michael Finley.
Yeah.
But they didn't get one playing. They got one.
No, Michael Finley got one playing. He was the last. That was the last year. I think he was on the last leg, right? He didn't. Did he just? Well, I know Mark. No, they know who was.
Mike wasn't on that team.
Oh, he got one as an executive.
Yeah, he got one as an executive. Yeah.
I
think I'm right. I don't remember Mike being on that team.
No, I don't remember him being on that team against Jason Kidd and me.
No, he was a part of the office though, but I don't remember him being on that team.
Right, he wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, so you're right.
So you tell Donnie, you know, and Doc coached his way on one, right?
Right, he got one as a coach.
Okay, so you know they count, but
they don't count to be. No, Hey, Mark, you checking? Hey, Steve, coach championships don't count as an executive.
No, they count as an executive. But Steve Kerr can go back in his shelf and get some players. he got some as a player too.
Okay.
Steve Kerr on both sides.
He double-breasted.
He got both of them, man.
Yeah, you're right, man. Lucky. Timing.
Yeah.
Because when opportunity meets preparation, then you have success. Because you got to be prepared for success.
Keep your powder dry.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Steve Kerr. Shout out to Steve Kerr. And he's a player's coach. He let his guys do his thing.
He's a good guy, man.
Yeah,
I've always liked Steve, man. He's a really good person.
Yeah.
You
can tell.
Person. He's a good person.
Because he's not socially correct, politically correct all the time.
Well, he say things that need to be said.
Yeah. He learned from Pop and Phil now.
They say things that need to be said.
Yeah.
I commend them for stepping out and doing that because there's so many things like in any other business, any other things. There are bad things going on.
Right.
You know, and Pop is not scared to say it.
He's not.
And he will say it.
And he in Texas.
And I wish
Texas.
And I wish a lot of other people would say it. Too. A lot of other people would say it. But you know, sometimes some guys think of being too politically correct and not standing there as an individual, a human being, a man, and say, what do you stand on?
I got one more for y'all.
I'm not gonna hurt anybody by not being correct and call out
anytime y'all want to chime in.
Call out injustice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Rob.
But I got this one
one because I watched the
He always
NBA.
got one last
I got one last
I always
one.
got one
Yeah,
last one.
that was the last
hey,
one.
look,
But
mama,
Last one.
hey, look,
But
my
it's
mama
all
thought I
good.
was slow because I didn't talk when I was young. I wasn't slow, mom. I was listening. So.
Right.
I got this question. I saw the Big O. He won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the NBA Awards.
Right.
And he said he need more white players to step up against this police violence and all of that. What do you think about that, Mark? Is it their argument? Is
Well,
it everybody's argument?
I don't even think it's a situation of white stepping up. I think it's a situation of a society understanding humanity. I think it's a humanity.
It's a humanity issue.
It's a humanity.
That
issue.
is, man.
Yeah, I think it's a humanity
Because
see, if you look back at young people, you look back at people that's coming up. When I look at it, I was like, we can't fix it all, but in order for humanity to advance, keep advancing, it's our jobs to eliminate things, because right now, I mean, we can go back now. Everybody on the planet knows that slavery was wrong right now.
Except Kanye.
Okay, well, we're not gonna mention him. But what I'm saying that it became a humanity issue.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. I mean, when you're talking about President Kennedy, you're talking about President Johnson. They, these are white men in the presidential office who took up a very unpopular scenario, but they took it up for humanity cause. It's like, if we're not going to tear up everything, you have to advance as human beings, and there's a lot of things that are not advanced. Now we put the color, we put the race thing on it, but there are things that are out there. So as far as equality with women, how can we let women do a job that's is equal to somebody else, and we want you to get paid less? That's humanity, man.
Humanity.
Like how you do that, So when I look at those, and I understand what Big O said, but I want not just the white players to step up. I want
humanity.
I want that guy in the training room to step up and say, I'm giving my piece to it. So when I see that injustice, I'm doing it. And you want the guy that's, pulling the lights up in the rafters to see the injustice.
Oh.
You don't want just ball players to do it all. You know what I'm saying? You
put
want
too much pressure on y'all,
but
man.
you want everybody
got to get involved.
Everybody got to get involved.
They want an athlete like Charles Barkley say, I'm not a role model. And I mean, like Charles Barkley, absolutely not. You're not, but you have an obligation to be responsible for your actions. And that's just any individual. And that does not make you a
Look
role
at your
model.
kids and you understand what you got to be.
Yeah.
What you want them to do.
Yeah.
What you want them, how you want them to grow up. So that's easy.
Man, Mark, man, you deep as hell, man.
What do you
You're
mean?
very deep, brother. And your intellect and the way that you approach the topic as far as humanity, dude, that's head on.
Yeah,
Because,
I think that's just the way I think.
Socially, that's where it starts.
Well, see, I told you when I grew up as a kid, I think God put me in different spots and different things. Like when I grew up as a kid, I mean, you may not know, is that I was reborn. Like I told you, I was born with rheumatic fever. Rheumatic fever is like a hole in your heart. It doesn't allow you to exercise and move and do things. So I was in the hospital, man, I know almost a year.
Wow.
But my only family was other children that were coming through the hospital with different things and different illness, things like that. So those were my friends. And they were of every race, every creed, every color, and everything.
And how old was you,
There was no boundary there.
No, it was no racial boundary. But what I saw as a kid, not us being racial boundary, the families.
Right.
Because they were there for one cause, was a concern for their child. But you had to intermingle because I saw you every day. I could see your compassion for your child and my child.
Wow.
Because when you see a child, nobody want to see a child sick.
Nobody. That's number one.
No matter what they are. So I saw families throw everything else out the window, and their compassion was humanity, was human, was things. So those are my first thoughts as a kid. So
that's what
it stayed in my DNA, and the fact that I can't go out. When people say everybody got a little racism in them, I say, well, you know what? I understand we are different.
Right.
We are different, meaning
That's
that
right.
you are that and you live and you do different. But from a human standpoint, we are the same.
We the same.
We're the same. As a human, we are the same. You care about your loved ones. I care about my loved ones. You cry. I cry. You sleep. I sleep. So we're not different in the means. We're different so far as our culture bringing up.
Right.
So that's how I grew up. So
that's like
that's how I grew up.
group therapy is at its highest form.
It is.
It's
It
like,
was.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
was.
That's
How
amazing.
everybody get together to be together.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah.
overcome whatever obstacle it is in their life.
But it
at
happens
that time.
when
It
it's
was through
like that.
osmosis
Yeah.
because they was in that environment.
But I saw it as a kid. I mean, seeing it had an imprint on me. Just seeing it, because then when I was in there as a young age, so I mean, I was in there a long time. So when I came out, I couldn't embrace, treating another human being different. I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't do it because I was.
Hold on. How old was you, Mark?
I was like 4.
4 or 5.
See, at 4 or 5, you don't really
got a good
know.
memory though.
You got 4 or 5. You don't. You remember things, but you're gonna remember that hospital.
You remember that?
And those are the only kids I played with was the ones that was in the hospital.
Right.
You gonna remember that, That's all. I woke up in the morning, couldn't wait to get up and climb out this hospital bed and go play with the kids. It was terrifying though, because your parents couldn't be there every day because they had to work, they had to do things, and I couldn't see them, and they couldn't pay to come down there every day to see me. So that was my family.
So
That was really, as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, you cling to your family.
Racial biases don't start until, I believe, you get older. As kids, we all see each other as a friend.
Man, when you see we put a little white kid there and a little black kid there, who
They gonna
parents
play.
they gonna play.
They gonna play.
They gonna play.
It's just once they become get a point. Go ahead, Slim. I see you right.
No, go ahead. I'm warming up. Go ahead. Hope y'all ready.
Once they start getting older and they start thinking about, because we always teach slavery and what white people did to black people and all that stuff, which we need to be understanding about that. But
there are injustices being done.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
We got it. We're moving forward, and I think we've come a long way from where we used to be. And that's not to forget where you come from. That's just a part of the process, man. There's a natural progression with anything. I look at on the ground and I see a little bitty ant carrying a big ass crumb. This mother, he can't even get it to the crib. I just don't want to pick it up and take him to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Either that or put it back on
that mud.
Either that,
dude, you need some help, man.
Either that or put it back on yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this is Intellectual Radio. Call in. We're looking for callers to call in tonight. It's 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Call in.
Call in and talk to Mr. Mark, man.
Yeah, I had to come see my boy, man.
Man, that's
I had
Mark.
to come.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Straight up, man.
I'm going to see some of my boys in the city.
Yep, you got to hit that. Advantage Realty Group, thanks, man, for y'all sponsorship, man. We appreciate you. This is my company right here. You need to buy a crib, hit me up. Quit buying houses from people that's saying thank you and gone.
Or buying them at night.
Yeah, at least I get you a fifth of liquor.
Oh, you're terrible, man. You're awful.
I come to the cigar bar. I get more to your cigar bar.
Yeah.
Ain't it right, Ma?
Yeah, well, you know what? I wanna mingle with the people that made me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's like beautiful to me. I mean, I can mingle with the people and they can actually touch me and see me and say hello to me. And
Wait,
you
was all the way in your element.
Wait, do watching you on TV count?
No, but see, it does. But what I'm saying is that, I really want to go through back too much history. Is that, I am more unique than any player that ever came out of Chicago.
Yeah,
because I'm unique. I'm unique in the fact is that I played in Chicago as high school, right?
Yeah, this is true.
And as high school, I was the number one high school player in the country. Okay, so I'm the number one high school player in the country. And everybody's recruiting me. The entire city. I couldn't go anywhere because I had let out that on my list was but on every other high school player that ever, they said they would visit DePaul, but DePaul was on my list to go to.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So when I did that, guys was like, man, I've been watching you since you were bitty high. Man, I hope you go to DePaul because I want to see you continue to play. So everybody recruited me. So I would tell people, like when I reached the status of DePaul, when I was considered, one of the best in college, I played in the playgrounds. That was unheard of. I mean, you got Merrill-like House, which is right over here on Jackson. It's concrete,
right?
Raggedy little rims, the same little kids that come out with their little ball. I played on their courts. The reason I played on their courts is that I wanted them to see me. I didn't want to be, once I got to college, basically, I never have any type of communication or relation with, the people that made me. So, I made it I made a factor to say, you know what, I'm going to the playgrounds and play in the same playgrounds that I played in high school. And I was at DePaul. I was at DePaul and I challenged other pros. And then Isaiah started playing.
Right.
Doc Rivers started playing. And a lot of the other older pros, we started playing in parks. So, and then, the ladies, man, I never forget ladies, at Cole Park on the south side, Cole Park?
Yeah, on 83rd King Drive.
Yeah, it was Cole Park on the south side. There was like 3 ladies. Miss Allison, I haven't been by there in a while. Miss so what name is
Miss Morris
Simmons. Miss Simmons. The park was here, and then there's a street, and there was homes on the other side.
Yeah, right over across the street. Yeah. My boy Lance grew up over there. Lance Stewart, man, he stayed over there 100 years.
But see, when I came there, I made these ladies just enjoyed those Sundays when I came there, right? And I would come there, and and we made sure we had to go in there. We had to make sure all the little kids get up front because the big kids would beat them up, gangsta them, and move them out to the back. So it was a ritual. They knew I'm stop playing if the little kid don't get up front. And so they would get up front, and then after that, I would go over to those ladies' house and sit on their porch
and just interact with them
because they see me, man. I mean, they watch me. Those are them the ones that run in there like every night. Tomorrow, I got to see DePaul,
right?
And I can't. I got to talk to them, man. You know what I'm saying?
That was a big thing back then.
Yeah, DePaul was the first time we saw ourselves on TV.
What are you gonna do, though, man? What are you gonna do? How can you not do that?
Right.
How can you not do that?
I'm so glad you're that way, man, because a lot of guys don't.
We talked about that, about the ones that, well, not all of the ones that don't, but the ones that has the platform and just refuse to use it.
But see, I just want to know I'm normal. I'm normal. I make mistakes. I do things like that. But you know what? My heart is gonna be in the right place.
You sure you know?
Well, maybe not, considering the way everything else is. Maybe I'm abnormal.
You
You're gonna make me.
You got something you want to ask old school? He said he watched the 30 for 30. He said that's how he know who you are, Mark.
Oh, you watched the 30
for 30? 30 for 30.
Okay, cool.
But he kind of salty at you, man. He said when he see you, gonna whoop you on sight because you y'all was knocking Mike out the air.
Man, we made Mike.
And he got 100 pair of mics in the car.
We made Mike, man. We made Mike. We made Mike.
It wouldn't be what he was if he hadn't gone through. He
had to go through it. Yeah. And everybody made everybody, man. I'm saying is that I think when I see Mike, man, I tell a lot of Chicagoans, in fact that Mike was playing here, and I used to, we're in a fraternity.
Y'all frat.
We're in a fraternity. I understand. We're in a fraternity. And I used to tell people, I say, you know what? You better enjoy what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Because it ain't gonna be here forever.
No.
Right. It ain't gonna be here forever. So enjoy it when you see it now, because you got the player to ever play in your backyard.
Yeah. In the 90s.
In the 90s. So look, you better enjoy it while you're seeing it.
98. Mike played that 20 years.
Oh man, enjoy it, man. And that's in everything. I mean, I look at any player, in any sport, I like to recognize them and enjoy them while they're there. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what the problem is with LeBron.
You better enjoy LeBron.
And
you better enjoy LeBron. You better enjoy
LeBron to LA, baby.
LeBron going to
We're gonna
LA.
have some fun this year.
Man,
2018.
yeah, LeBron,
2019, oh, 2018, right?
Bron.
I'm glad.
Moving on up already.
I'm glad.
Bron in LA.
I feel good for Bron, man, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I love LeBron James so much. He do what he wants to do
When he need to do it.
Now he went through that early bull crap when they were burning his jersey and all that. And once he realized, you know what, these fans are just short for fanatic. They don't care. All they are is fans. I gotta do what's best for my family and my brand. This time around, like imagine if Mike would have left the Bulls. Like Mike still had game left when he left in '98. Remember, he had just hit that shot.
Right.
Mike could have got you 3 more years, decent.
Right.
Because when he came back in '03, he was still decent. He was dragging his knee a little bit because he had sat down at the crib, playing golf, smoking cigars. But just think,
Sounds familiar.
yeah. But Mike in '98 was still a killer though.
Yeah, he was still a killer.
Wasn't he still a killer?
Yeah, he could still
Imagine if Mike would have left and said,
but
you know
though, but I hope that LeBron at one day, you know, all of these news people and all these people, I wish they expose what he does as an individual.
Yeah.
Because see, I know him. You know, I know him. I met him 100 times, and I've seen him do things that, at his status, you can't fake. You know, it's honest. He can't fake them. You know what I'm saying? I seen him stop and do things. You can't fake that. You know, and I'm like, you know what? They giving you a lot of squash, because as a man, you stand up, like you just said, for what I think is right for me at this time.
Yeah.
It's not what you think is right for me. It's what and he accepts that, and I'll take that.
Yeah.
But then he still does the things that affect other people in the community, other people everywhere else.
He got a good balance.
Yeah, he got a great balance, but he's saying that I'm going to make my own decisions of what I'm going to do. And nobody can say that the move to Miami was not the right move. It was the right move.
Man, you talking about Miami?
And the move back was the right move.
Was the right move.
It was the right move.
Yeah,
How about that? You ain't the boss of me.
Yeah, you know,
But taking charge of your life.
But the move to LA, that's checkmate.
Wow.
Because you get to play in LA, you 34 years old, you're gonna retire in LA, dude.
But you know what?
Storybook, dude. And he gonna get 2 championships there.
If he can do what he did in the playoffs now, if he can do it 3 more years, there's some other players that will join him, and he get 2. I know he gonna get 1. I think he can get 1.
His body's not showing no signs of breaking down. Now we
Not
know
at
Kobe.
all.
We saw Kobe blow his knee out, you know, and stuff late in the game.
Right.
But Bron hasn't shown any of that.
But you know what though? You know, I want to see him play as long as he can.
Me too.
I enjoy to see every player. Like Kobe Bryant, I want to see Kobe play forever.
Me too, man.
I want to see everybody play.
Yeah,
But
man.
while he there, I'm enjoying every minute. I'm enjoying every minute.
An NBA player, 14 years, Mark.
Oh, too many, man.
Too many, man.
Too many.
Too many.
Light up, baby.
Jumper by Aguirre. Remember that day? That was the Paul thing. Jumper by Aguirre. We used to be at the crib. My boy thought we were saying Jumper by Aguirre, like some dude's name. No, Jumper by Aguirre, man. That's what we doing in the backyard.
Right.
At the brim of the tree in my backyard. We playing in the jungle.
Okay.
Did y'all have a 10-speed rim?
No, I actually had an eagle rim. One of them eagle rims, as soon as you shoot the ball in it, that mother crack and the back of it come out of there.
Oh, wow.
You bought it from the grocery store, A&P.
You had the 10-speed bike rim or the crate from
the crate in the alley.
From No Frills. It was No Frills at the time before it became I believe it was Jules, before it came Jules. Or you had the hanger
in the house.
No, over the doorway, the closet door. Right.
I tore up much drywall at the crib. Jump back,
yeah. You put another hole in my damn wall, but I'm whoop your ass, mama.
I'm going to the league. I'm gonna buy you a house.
You better be thinking about something else.
You know, man. You know what's crazy? And I just wanted to tell you, I was on the way up here. I was thinking about this, and I wish it could happen. You know, I really wish it could happen. I wish that athletes would team up with different professions and go in as one when we go to talk to kids. Meaning this is that I'm LeBron James, but we want to talk to you about success.
Right.
And I go in with I go in with from people who are in the nursing industry all the way through to CEO of Boeing, meaning that I am the athlete, but look at how successful from a young kid standpoint, because usually when you go in as an athlete, I go as an athlete, all of them looking at you saying, oh, you're a pro athlete, but I want them to see success.
Different
meaning
fashion.
that
it comes in a whole
it comes in
but
I want
different fashions of success.
Yeah, I want to see them when it comes to success.
Mark, you joined LinkedIn today and you couldn't even keep up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
That was crazy.
He was like, man, I gotta get my nephew to
You know
add all
what?
this.
That should be the next challenge, man. That should be something that we do on another show. How the success could be from, like he said, from one entity to the next.
But I wish they would come in as a group, meaning that, I don't know how it get done, but first of all, that basketball player is going to get that, or that football player, that athlete is going to get that boom. But if you go in there as a relationship, understanding that we respect each other because we're so successful in what we do. You're a doctor, and let me ask you about being a doctor. Wow, you and put that doctor on a stage and appraise him for the work he's done and what he's done and how successful he is and what he means to the community.
That's huge.
And now the kid looks at you and saying that, look at LeBron James, and he is the thing. But man, you know what? He really was impressed with that doctor. You know what I'm saying? I need to check into that.
Yeah.
And see, one thing about young, and I hate to always say black kids, but if I can say one thing to young black kids, if you're watching this show tonight, there's no quicker way out of poverty than education. If you can get an education, now you're going to end up owing a gang of student loans or whatever. But if you go to school, and if you go to a school where it's predominantly white, you're a minority, they're going to take care of you. They're going to pay for your tuition. But through education, we can get through poverty because everybody get that free in America, basically. You start off with the public schools in Chicago. You think it's not the best school. You graduate from there with a 4.0, you'll get a scholarship. So there's ways out.
Absolutely.
You don't have to let your outcome determine your income. Just because your uncle was Ice Mike on the block with rocks and blows, don't mean you're going to have to build a block with rocks and blows.
That's what he sees.
Yeah, but you can also see other things because we see other stuff too.
Well, I always did see other stuff, but I knew
what you want to choose, Mark.
But I knew everybody else from Ice Mike. I knew everybody else too, but from a standpoint of, being disciplined and everybody else around me, understanding the importance of the discipline that you have with a kid,
right,
kept me away from a lot of different things. You know?
Because it was a village that raised
it was pretty
us.
much. Yeah, it was discipline.
Everybody
all over
on the
place,
block, because
yeah.
it was always a lady on the block. She was fat, and I ain't gonna lie, she was grandma on the porch crocheting, and she saw everything.
Big mama.
She saw everything.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting nothing past her. So, man, I appreciate you coming on, Mark. Man, we down to the wire, man. Slab. Neff, man, thank y'all for coming out, Mark. Is there anything you want to share with people, man, while you're here? Because you got live streaming.
No, I'm just glad to come here and be able to share some of. I'm not right all the time, but maybe somebody else will get it right behind me. But to share my thoughts, and maybe there's one person on the other end that'll take it to somebody else, and it might help somebody.
Well, we
know if it don't, it oughta. Last time I was wrong, they called me back and told me I was right.
Radio show. We hosted by Advantage Realty Group, Baseline Sports. I'm an agent, so if you got a kid that got some talent, hit me up. Man, I got Mark Aguirre in the building. Thanks for coming, Big Mark.
I appreciate you, man.
I got my man, Mississippi Slab nephew, and the Mississippi Slab. Without no further ado, what you got?
Keep your powder dry, aim high, and watch your six.
We up out of here, man. Thank y'all for coming and watching the Chicago Millionaire Radio Show.
Appreciate you, baby.
Hey.